what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Please remain standing. Even if never before, Brunonia, please join me for this prayer. We, the graduating, the grateful, who once entered Van Wickle's path bearing hopes and our heart's expectations, as for ourselves as well as those of our communities and family, today dance outward through Van Wickle's beloved salute, grateful, overwhelmed, prayerful, amazed, radiant. So much awaits. So much has changed. Within us and around us, the innocence of our beginning now seems distant, and yet we are together, Brunonians, College Hill's newest pilgrims. If first in our family to accomplish graduation today, we hear generations hailing us. If next in our family to cross this threshold, we hold their examples close and feel their pride. But whether first generation or next generation, we stand together today, a generation of hope. The rising stars of Brown, who face tasks of dignity, compassion, engagement. It is our generation now that steps into a world where fear and violence are very real. But so is talent, so is imagination, so is bravery. Where some see security and walls and exclusion, we see possibility and human future and flourishing. We are heirs of sacred visions long cherished in Brunonians' hearts and minds, a soul's liberty that yearns to hear speaking that emerges from the foundations of conscience, not convention, that holds visions of justice and mercy building daily deeds of equity and inclusion, that holds that fear and injury can be addressed with compassion and bring about new work for justice. We look for bravery, even in the face of bigotry, and we hold a hope that is holy, eager for an illumined path forward. Brunonia's halls have rung with these insights across all of our disciplines, and we prepare to set forth with these prerequisites accomplished in our hearts, in our souls, in our minds. We remember as we step forward, and we hold in our hearts 4 beloved classmates, Zachary Bolster, Jameson McMillan, Milan Samardisky, and Jeff Schleier. Gone before us in death, their names remain dear, emblazoned in our hearts, and always included in the circle of this class of 2023 in memory and in honor. We also call to mind the many in this gathering for whom the days of these years of our degree are marked indelibly by loss and grief. This glorious commencement day, we remember them all. Brown's commencement arises each year amid our nation's Memorial Day, and we pause to remember and to express gratitude for every life given and lost in the service of the nation. We hold close the honor and the grief that converge in these days of remembrance and celebration. Today we clasp dearly the hands of friends who were once strangers. The enigma of College Hill is now a map in our hearts that we can walk with our nose in our phone or even in our sleep, and we often did. Early, late, in all weather, we completed Bud's shifts and Nelson morning workouts. We shuttled from Ship Street to Barris and Holly and back again, knowing that Brain Gate doesn't swing like Van Wickle, and that tinfoil people aren't actually too scary, and that once there was an enormous blue creature that lit Simmons Quad, but now there's a tree with a boulder, but it's okay to take a picnic under it. We expect Shakespeare to appear on the green, and even occasionally to see pirates, even as our parents saw Dave Binder. The mics actually work, but they're not amplifying voices. The Fly Center, our friends and sci-liars alike, and everybody has mastered a Brunonian alphabet that spans from one end to BDH to the other. Visa stamps on a Brunonian passport. Keep clear the sonorous strains of the Hutchings Fody at midnight, the coxswain's cry on the sea conch, a cappella arch sings, and spoken word. Keep bright the quiet green's blaze of daffodils and dogwoods, the magnificent of our amazing magnolias, the inches and miles of Brunonia's halls, these streets, these fields, our books, these labs, but most importantly, these faces. May they be ever with us. May their clarity never dim, even as it softens. And may these beloved graduates employ their gifts to strengthen all initiatives to protect our beloved planet, to seek and strengthen peaceful coexistence, and to know those within and beyond our borders as neighbors. May this rising generation of Brunonians, the class of 2023, animate Brown's Charter's hope that your education will be sufficient to enable you to discharge the offices of life with usefulness and reputation, and so build lives in a world whose foundations may be just and even loving kindness. May we be a blessing. May you be a blessing. May the world know us as a blessing, this day and always. Amen.
Amen.
Now you can be seated.
Thank you, Janet.